of such a gifted wordsmith and such a gentle heart to recognize us in our passing as a fellow human being. His dedication to the book bears repeating. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unheard, unseen, but always near, still loved, still missed, and very dear. An Irish poem. Unknown author. Dave Grossman, Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Army, retired. Author of On Killing, on Combat, with Loren W. Christensen, and On Spiritual Combat. Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, U.S. Army, retired. Director, Killology Research Group, killology.com. Introduction. I don't recall how aware I was of death before my grandfather died when I was 12. I saw it in the movies and on television, and I played war and cowboys and Indians with my friends, slaughtering one another in our backyards. I was aware of it in my early teens because I watched the news. I was a junior in high school when John Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. 2 days later, I watched Lee Harvey Oswald take a fatal bullet on TV. That was a crash course in death. Here are my early experiences with death that affected me on a personal level. Little did I know there would be so many more. The first. The service for my grandfather was on a rainy weekend in Salem, Oregon. I don't remember anything about what happened inside the church, nor do I remember whether it was an open casket service. If I had to guess based on how my father viewed death, it was closed. I remember the graveside service vividly, helped by a photo of the Christensen men standing by the open hole. I was wearing a snazzy suit and a fedora hat. It was raining steadily, and the group of us were huddled under umbrellas around the coffin. I had never seen my dad cry, and I was as unsettled seeing that as I was of the proceedings. But nothing could prepare me for what happened next. When everyone had said their goodbyes to my grandfather, the coffin began to descend to its final resting place. That's when 3 things happened, one after the other. The rain that had not let up all day abruptly stopped. A ray of sunshine found its way through the tall trees to fall on the gathering like a heavenly stage light. The ground trembled hard. An earthquake. I squatted to touch the ground to keep my balance. Others, startled, yelped as they shuffled about to stay on their feet, and some oohed and awed, then nervously laughed. My dad was one of the laughers, as he simultaneously wept and knuckled tears from his cheeks. Driving home, my dad didn't place any significance on the chain of events, other than to shake his head and say, "Wasn't that something?" I thought that was an understatement, since, in my mind, earthquakes only happened to big-name people who died in the Bible. I didn't know what I thought of it in my 12-year-old head. Coincidental? A religious miracle? I rarely saw my grandfather, though he lived in the same town. I can only assume he and my father had a strained relationship. My mother often spoke of him as being cruel, but I never knew in what way. I believe she didn't like him since she didn't go to the funeral. She missed a heck of a show. The second. John Zimmer drowned when we were both 16. He lived 2 blocks away, but he didn't hang around much with my neighborhood buddies. John was the same age as us, but matured faster. He smoked in his mid-teens, rode in cars with older guys, and fished with a couple of tough-looking guys I'd seen around and always avoided. He drowned with them one hot day in June. They were in a rowboat on Vancouver Lake, about 4 miles west of my home in Vancouver, Washington. None of the 3 survived to explain what happened. The press blamed their waders, those rubber suits fishermen wear to shield them from the wet and cold. The boat flipped, the press assumed. The waders filled up, and the 3 sunk. It was a strange feeling to know that a kid died I had gone to school with.